transmitting live here from my backyard. I just wanted to share, these my whole house filter tips with you guys. As many of you know who follow my channel, you know that I live off grid, so we live off of a rainwater catchment system. Um, which that's the main cistern, and it has its own filters, its own water pump. I have a big old 400 gallon one over there. They're all interconnected. This one and this other one. This is another 200. I think it's almost like 300. Okay, you know. But anyway, that's all rainwater catchment, which is backfed into the house. But what I want to share is this. Okay, the system that I have in place to filter out the water. All right. In fact, let me turn something on here real quick. All right, bear with me. Okay, let me go back outside here. Um, the whole system basically runs off of rainwater, and it's a process. Goes from the roof down that spout, and it goes in here. I put the little pantyhose filter. That's the first level of defense. And if you notice in there, there's a little screen, all right, and another screen. That's just to, And if you look inside the water, okay, let me try to move this, all right. You notice there, I have UV lamps inside of the cistern, which is used to disinfect the water, okay. Now, so those UV lamps, I don't keep them on all the time, but they're on most of the time, disinfecting the water. But the water gets chlorinated as well. So basically, that's the first line of defense: the little filter, then the UV lamps. Then it gets pumped out through here, and it comes through the spin down filter, which removes. And this is a reusable filter, so all you do is you could either flush it through here or just unscrew it and wash the little mesh. But basically, that's gets to get rid of sediment and whatnot, which brings us to the actual filters. All right, so that water comes into the water pump and it goes through the first filter, which is a 5 micron sediment filter. Then it goes through the granulated carbon filter, which removes the Clorox and any volatile things in the water. Okay, and thirdly, it goes through the third filter, which is a solid, what they call a carbon block filter, which basically, does remove sediment, but it also removes, any volatile compound, any chlorine and whatnot. And this goes into the house. Okay, now let me just come over here for a second. All right, so I want to share this entire thing with you guys. When the water comes into the house, all right, it's basically just, regular water. All right, actually right now it was off. So let me go outside, because we usually turn off the water pump. So let's just go outside real quick. All right, and we turn this on. There, the pump is on. Now it pressurized everything. All right, so now let's come over here. Okay. So, when we go to the faucet, right, everything flows naturally, normal, as if it had water. And the water is actually back feeding from the whole system. Now, if I want to make reverse osmosis water, this one is for drinking, or we use for drinking. So all I do is I turn this on, I flip this switch, and all of a sudden, that's wastewater, and we call it wastewater, but it's actually clean water. So I usually put this thing in to collect the wastewater for dishwashing, because it's actually purified water. It's just not at the reverse osmosis level. So goes through another filter, charcoal filter. It goes through this filter right here. Basically puts back all the minerals, and it goes to the what you would call it, the reverse osmosis element, and it fills this thing up here. Okay, if you can see, with water, reverse osmosis water is coming on here, This is like a DIY Berkey style filter. So I added another ceramic filter in there, and it has impregnated silver for bacterial purposes, but it really doesn't need it because viruses don't get through reverse osmosis. And then you have this perfectly wonderful clean drinking water. Okay, I have two of these. I built this other one, but mainly I used to use this one. Okay, but anyway, that wasn't the purpose of the video. The purpose of the video is to show you the filters and show you how you're gonna save some money. All right. Now, these right here are what we call the pre-filters. Okay. So let's take, for example, this one right here is a sediment filter, just like that very first one. All right. Very first one. Then this picks up all the dirt. Come on, cat. I'm doing a video. All right. Then it goes through this one, which is the granular. And if you shake it, you feel that it has these granules in it. That one removes, like I said, any volatile compounds and chlorine. The chlorine that I add in there is eliminated by the time it goes through the filter. So, you don't get that chlorine smell or taste in the water. Okay. And then thirdly is the carbon block filter. Now, you see how nice and clean these are? These are about more than 6 months old. But what do? I have my filters. Instead of waiting 3 or 4 months, I rinse them out. I clean them. I hit them with with a little bit of chlorine water, And this is just plastic on the outside. So I stick the hose in there, and I flush it out real nice, and then I put them in a bucket of water. This one's the same. I put like a hose through there, and I let it come out the other side, and I put it in a bucket of water with some chlorine to kill any bacteria, and then I just place them here to air dry. Okay. Now, why do I do this? Well, reason why I do this is because filters are expensive. All right, filters are expensive. And instead of wasting that money, so right now I have those filters are working, right? They're working, and they are gonna get changed pretty soon. So what I do is I take them out, I replace those three, right? I replace those three with the ones that are clean, and I put the clean ones in, and then then I turn my system back on, and then I wash these. Okay. Now, what happens? Right now, if you see this filter, it looks relatively clean. But what's important, sometimes it'll get like a little bit of a yellowish kind of stain, because it picks up rust and stuff in the pipes. But what you really want to look at is inside. All right? I don't know how well you guys can see there, but there, I'm turning on its side. You see how clean it is in the inside? That means this filter still has some life left in it. You know what I mean? And since I change them out and I clean them regularly, they last me longer. Now, eventually they will wear out. So another thing you want to do is like these little plastic things on it, they usually come off. This one, you can see this one's kind of loose. What I do after I clean them, sometimes I use a little bit of crazy glue, and I stick them back, because these little plastic things, they make a pretty decent seal. So you can see this filter, although used, the inside is very, very nice and clean. So that means if you use it to filter water, it's gonna be working well. All right. And these, like I said, I'm not sure if these are the 6 month ones or those are the 1 year one, but the whole point is that I alternate them. This one's a little older, it's a little bit damaged out here, but this one still works. And I use this one for the hose filter. Outside here, I have a regular hose, just a regular, backyard, garden hose. And that one, I don't really care too much if the filter's not in the best condition, because it's just basically just to clean it out. As you can see, that one already has, a nice amount of rust, and that's just from the pipes. So if I replace it with this one, and I wash that one down with the hose, you get a result similar to this. And if you notice the interior, well, I don't know how well that'll come out, but it's pretty decent in the inside. So this still has some useful life, you know. And here comes my little kitty. Say hello. He's a cutie. Okay, so that's basically that fourth filter there. Now, the reason I'm showing you guys this is because the filter companies aren't going to really tell you to wash them. They're going to tell you to buy them. But these things are expensive, you know. And maybe not expensive. It's not like it's going to break the bank. But for example, okay, these are the replacement ones. All right. These are the replacement. Let me show you guys here. Let me pull them out. All right. All right. These are the replacement filters. So we have a sediment filter, the same, granulated carbon. This one, actually, you can hear this one rattle a little better. And then we have the carbon block. Okay. Now, this kit in particular, right here from this company, all three, it ran about $23 for all three. But that was just a sale they had online. But generally, these sediment filters will run you like $5. These will run you like maybe 8 to 9, and this one around 8, 9, even $10. So in essence, this is about $30. Now, you don't want to throw away $30 after 3 months or 4 months. You know what I mean? This one says that you change it every 6 to 12 months, but if you wash it out and you let it dry and disinfect it, you can add to that. So right now I have these are new, but I'm not going to use these until I see that the condition of those is deteriorated, or at least to some point that I'm like, okay, it's time to change it. So I have these stored in stock, which is a good thing. What I'm trying to say is, you can wash these filters. You can extend the life. Come on, cat. Jeez. All right. So you can extend the life of these. These are very good filters. Carbon filters will remove chlorine, bad fishy odor from the water, especially when you're using rainwater that's on your roof. Another thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand is that your actual roof in itself, especially here in Puerto Rico, our roofs, although they sometimes look a little bit, a lot of like dirt and stuff, but they are in sunlight like all day, so that kills bacteria. So your roof isn't really as dirty as you might think it is. Now, am I drinking the water that goes through these three filters? No. The water that goes through these three filters are used for everything except drinking. Okay? Everything except drinking, for bathing, cleaning the house, and whatnot. But then that same water goes through the reverse osmosis filters, and that is the drinking water that we can use. Um, we've tested the water; it's very nice and clean, no virus, no bacteria, nothing. I have a little meter, and I check the parts per million, and basically the water, even without going through the reverse osmosis, my parts per million, in the water, basically that's how many dissolved solids are in the water. It's like 30. It's basically practically the same as bottled water that you buy from your house. I mean from the store. I overkill it. So it's like on top of it going through all this filtration, I run it through reverse osmosis, and then I run it through a ceramic filter. So ain't nothing gonna get through, with that kind of thing. And it gets chlorinated as well regularly. And I'm constantly, keeping track of this. So, this is my little tip, is that, have yourself your filters, right? And have an extra set. And then you remove them. You replace them with the extra set and wash them. If you do that maybe every 2 weeks or something, just cool them down a little bit. It'll take you 5-10 minutes at most. Put it in a little bit of bleach, and you'll keep them running for a pretty long time. And if your filter has these kind of little rubber gaskets that come off, you can use a little bit of crazy glue. You see right there in the border, the residual of crazy glue. But if you look inside, You know, they're nice. There's a lot of use left. Look how clean it's inside. You know, so it's a good filter. It's a good filter. You know, why waste money? So I hope you guys enjoyed these video. These are the filters. These are 10-inch whole house filters. We have the sediment filter, the carbon granulated carbon, and the carbon blocks. With those three filters, you'd be doing pretty good. You know, if you're on regular municipal water, you may not need to go the whole extra mile of reverse osmosis. So, in my case, I want to be safe. You know what I mean? We live totally off rainwater harvesting, and so we got to make sure that everything is at 100%. You know, um, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational. And if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll point you in the right direction. But rainwater harvesting, let me tell you, it's something that I think everybody should be doing regardless of whether or not you're off grid or not. You should have some kind of a little rainwater harvesting system, because if you run into a situation like Flint, Michigan, that the water was doing real bad. Hey, you can opt to just deal with rainwater altogether, and you don't have to worry about that contamination. So just a thought, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Ruben Obed signing out.